Hello and welcome to the super happy fun Jabbertron Tea Party podcast with Kiki, Cupcake, and Miss. Did any of you fool your fellows on the day of the first? Was it the funnest thing you have ever done? Anyway, enjoy the show.
Okay, I am back.
Hi.
Oop, oh, there we go. I'm back. Who would do? I can patiently wait for it at Cupcakers. And we are going to go over here really quick so that I can. Right in the middle of a game, and then do this, and then we're going to do that so it doesn't go directly into the next game, so I can exit out. There we go. All right. Kiki.
Yes.
Kiki has the vodka ant vibe today. At least that's what I feel like. That's a vibe.
I made iced tea in my satanic jug.
Ooh, very nice.
Mostly because it's the biggest jug I had and I wanted a lot of iced tea.
Well, that too.
I'm not sure why I put satanic stickers on it, nor am I sure why I got... Well, no, I know why I got satanic stickers, because they were cute. But I don't know why I put them on the jug.
I guess because they were still cute?
Yeah, I guess. And there were a lot of them. From Temu, yay! Which I'm not still not sure I should shop at, but shouldn't shop at Amazon either. But
yeah, that they've kind of gotten to be the place to order things online. So it's just the unfortunate side effect of living in a capitalist hellscape is you need to shop from the devil.
Also
site.
shouldn't shop at Walmart. Kind of have to.
Yeah.
Because there is no mom and pop grocery store.
There it goes.
Hi, Cupcake!
Cupcakers!
Sorry, like literally as you guys called, my assistant called me, so I had to answer that. Then be like, what do you need?
I think you have more hair than I do now.
You leave my hair out of this just because I don't have a barber right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just saying.
I can go to like cost cutters or whatever, but I every time I'm going to, something else is planned that day. It's just like, well, that'll be the next time. Well, we're doing something the next time. Okay, well, the time after that. Well, we gotta delay it because somebody's having a heart attack.
But I didn't.
Yeah, but you were thinking it.
Acute chest pain.
I.e., your chest hurt, but we don't know why. Figure it out yourself. That'll be $5,000.
They never.
No Cupcake. It's if you just lost weight, you wouldn't have the chest pains. Give me $5,000.
If you ate nothing but leafy greens and cold spring water and ran 10 miles a day and had no stress and you had all the money in the universe, you wouldn't be having this problem. Oh, I'd lose 10 pounds.
Ow.
Last doctor's visit was just like, yeah, I mean, technically you're morbidly obese, but like you're running, jogging, walking, climbing, lifting. Your values are good. Technically lose weight, but how? We're not sure.
Well, see, that's the thing is that, like, I should have a picture of this saved on my phone just to bring it up, and for if people are being a dickhead about it, like, oh, people just need to lose weight, and pull up the pictures of the female fucking Olympic weightlifters, the dead weightlifters, and I'm like, you tell me this athlete who can deadlift 3 of me, or at least 1 of me, if not 1.5 of me, that she needs to lose weight. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I'm
Tell
just,
her she.
but that's a clear exception. We have people like me who are fat because it's not like clear, like, ooh, manly muscle. I look fat. Like if I wear a tight shirt, you see my gut. And they're like, everyone's like, oh, you need to lose weight. I'm like, that's not fat. They're like,
That's
what?
muscle.
I'm like, push on it. Like, what? I'm like, push on it. They're like, they're, the hell it's hard. I'm like, it's muscle. They're like, you have a beer gut muscle? I'm like, I lift a lot of heavy things up and down. All the muscles in my abdomen are overdeveloped. Yes, I do need to lose weight. I'm not arguing that. But this is not fat for the most part. This is muscle.
It's like it's called Cupcake Strongman. That's what this is. It's Cupcake
Oh
Strongman.
man.
Oh, one of my guys at work is like, you don't have any definition, but you're strong. I'm like, how do I tell you that you don't necessarily are gonna, you're not gonna be like, oh yeah, see, you don't have any definition. That's muscle. That's muscle. I'm not I'm not gonna have, wait, look at my fucking forearm. Like, no, I'm not gonna have fucking definition. All I do is lift shit. I'm not building for looks, I'm building for strength, which is why, duh.
Yeah.
Because we had the you don't have any flab on your arms.
Oh no shit.
Yes, I'm aware. As I pick up the 90-pound roll of wire, I'm like, this, you want this? Like, it's
Yeah.
excuse me.
Okay. That was
What?
weird.
We're just all staring. What?
Well, no, I said that's weird because my desktop Discord decided to like refresh, so I was like waiting.
Oh
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, is it gonna reconnect to me? Oh, I'm still connected. Okay. Okay. Mm.
It was actually kind of funny because I was ordering a Subway sandwich for lunch,
Yeah.
and I was walking across the big bridge on the loop, and one of my coworkers was also running it. And she's like, I like look up from my phone for finishing the order. She's like, "You're not running." I'm like, "Nope." She's like, "You're walking." I'm like, "Yep." And I kept going, and she's just like, I don't have to run nonstop. That's not how exercise works. Please and thank you. I mean, I brought up the fact today on another server that by getting 5 miles of walking in a day, that puts me in the top 10% of our age bracket. What?
That sounds about right.
And if you like, as soon as you go to like 12, that puts you in like the top. I think it's like 3%. Because like as I get busier, I'm like my average is gonna go up because we're going into like the like I'm less standing around doing administrative and more like actual being out helping people and doing stuff and running and weather's good. And then like I know at one point in June I was in like the top 2% of all people in our age group, and I was just like, all I'm doing is walking 15 miles a day. What? Or it was 10 miles a day, 10 miles because it's five and five. And I'm like, Rada? What are you guffawing at over there?
Guffaw. I guffaw, whatever.
Fair
Oh
enough.
yeah, Cupcake. Before you came on, I was telling Kiki that she's got the vibe going. I feel like she's got the vodka and vibe going on right to
I see that. I see that.
She's just rolling up with those sunglasses and her big jug and like, hey nibblings, what's up?
Kiki and I are like the weird uncle and aunt from opposite sides of the family.
Yes. The ones that make sure that your first experience with alcohol and or other substances are safe. It's like, okay, you want to do alcohol, you want to do weed or other substances. Okay, come over to my house for the weekend. We'll start Friday, and then by Sunday we'll be sober. But you're staying at my house.
I'm the dude that everybody's like, yeah, you know, weird Uncle Cupcake. Like he's probably done everything under the sun. And they come over and it's like, you're drinking a Coke. Yeah, why? We thought you were like a wild party animal. Why would you think that? Well, that's what Dad said. Your father knew me in my 20s. Oh, right. Okay, never mind.
Yep.
Ah, kids.
Right.
It's like, why do you think you come into Uncle Cupcake for your first party experience?
Right. Mm.
Oh, just remembered something that I would like to point out. Found
Yes.
something out earlier. Need to find their TikTok that I'm following. Hold on. Save. Did I save? No. Following, and I just followed them. Sort by default. Latest. There we go. Come on. Mm, Uh, latest. No. Is it? Drag. Um. No, that's not it. But it's a group where they are drag queens that just so happen to have Down syndrome.
Oh, okay.
That's an oddly specific group, but okay.
Yeah, and I was watching uh another video, and um I'm trying to remember because it's like a play on drag and Down syndrome. I can't remember it now. I don't feel like scrolling. Can't, doesn't it? Followers, friends, latest.
Speaking of oddly specific groups, one of my other friends, I don't even know what it's called, but like found a dating show about autistic people dating each other, and I'm just like, that's so oddly specific, like topic to make a TV show about. And apparently, it's like very, very successful. And I'm just like, of course it is. Of course it is.
Oh, yeah, I like vaguely considered watching it, and I hate dating shows.
Right.
And as I was
Uh,
scrolling, I stopped because there's one. Let me go to his page. It's they're tailors of custom quinky clothing and accessories, like friendship bracelets. I'll have to hold on a minute. Okay, hold on a minute. So, like, collars and cuffs and all kinds of stuff. And it's a lot of different sizes as well. So it's a lot more inclusive than what you're just gonna find. Ow. I swear to God, I don't know if what the hell I did to. I am hoping it's a pulled muscle on the right side of my neck, and it's not something else.
Me too? Dude, I've been there. I have a reoccurring pinched nerve in my neck / shoulder that makes me have like chest pain. And like when I was 19 and it first started happening, I was super freaked out that I was having cardiac issues and like nobody could figure out what was going on. And as an adult, like I eventually worked out that when I slept wrong, like the like right where like my neck and my shoulder meet, there's a nerve bundle, and it would get inflamed and the muscles would squeeze it. But it would like make my chest hurt right above my heart. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm dying. Like, no, you're not. Just put some fucking cortisone on your neck and bring the swelling down. Like, what the hell? But every time it happens, I'm freaked out that I'm gonna have a heart attack, especially as I get older. And it's like, it could happen anytime. You could have the Widowmaker anytime. Like, oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop because I'm following a shit ton of people on TikTok. Oh, there we go. It's drag syndrome.
All right.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I had to Google it really quick because I was like, it's gonna be a lot easier for me to
It's
Google
a
it.
pun, but we don't know what kind of pun.
Yeah. We're just gonna. There's their website.
All I know is that like I'm just completely disinterested in American television, and I'm sure like there's a lot of good stuff on it, but I'm just like I don't care. I just don't care. So I'm always interested when you guys talk about TV shows and stuff because like I don't have any free time. The free time I do have, I usually just spend laying here like staring into the abyss with my eyes closed. God knows I can't sleep. Clowns will get me.
I know, right?
And then every once in a while I do something and manage to like hit the perfect whatever, and I'm like, my body's like, I can sleep. Oh, we can't stop. And I'm like, no, gotta get up 5 a.m. Gotta go to work. Like, oh.
Yeah, the times when Cupcake can sleep or gets to sleep, he can't sleep. He has to get up. Inner lamentations.
Right. And when I can be sleeping, I can't be sleeping because sleep doesn't come. Middle of the night, early morning. Usually what ends up happening is I'm so exhausted that I come home at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon from work, pass out until like 8 or 9, and now my complete sleep schedule is shot because I just slept a good half of my sleep schedule already. So then I'm awake from like 9 p.m. until like 2 o'clock in the morning. I have to be up at 5 a.m. So immediately like I sleep from 2:30 ish till 5 a.m. And then I'm like, I don't want to get up. I want to sleep till 8 a.m. Then I'm groggy at work all day because I'm basically functioning on stimulants.
Yeah. Oof. I'm just really glad that I don't have to drive to work anymore. And
Right.
that if I am suffering from any like less sleep malaise, then well, I don't have to worry about operating heavy machinery. Yay.
I don't know, you might try to hug your computer and
I know, right? I mean,
and bring it down on you.
something.
Well, I'm trying to become my mother's in-home care worker,
Mm-hmm.
which is what I was doing yesterday and the day before and the day before that. Which is why my legs hurt. But if that goes through, then I also won't have to drive anywhere because one, I don't know how to drive. Well, I do, but I can't legally.
Right.
And two, because I also live here. We live together.
Right. Right.
And I already do those things. It'd be nice to be paid for.
Right. And that's why my mom's like doing the same thing for my grandma because like she's already over like especially with her retiring at the end of the school year. She's like, if this can work, then it's like one less thing I've got to worry about. Plus, it'll be nice to get paid to take care of your grandma. I'm like, yeah, I'm not arguing.
I mean, it's not the best pay, but it's better than nothing.
I mean,
Yeah.
money's money. Like you're doing it
Yeah.
anyway, so why not get paid?
Mm-hmm. She's just got to be approved for hours, and then it's a matter of how many hours, and
Best we can offer is 3 a month. Like what the fuck?
that would be ass.
That's how the government usually works.
Yeah.
30 minutes a quarter.
Uh, 2 toothpicks and a few quarters.
Ooh, quarters laundry.
It's a belly button lint. The hell did that come from? I don't know. He was picking at his nose. His nose thinks it was belly button lint.
Oh God.
That's so funny to me.
Cause you're tired.
Oh, shut up. You're not wrong, but shut up.
Never. Except for those times when I'm not talking.
Oh, oh my god.
Okay, Cupcake.
I'm sorry. Oh my oh. Come on now. There we go. Okay.
Whew.
I haven't even had any fucking substances or anything today. I'm having a Coke and I'm fucking dying. Oh god.
Pardon. Little word about you.
I'm so tired. Hmm. Christ. Oh. Oh, God. Hang on.
Ow. Stupid desk. Breathe, man.
I'm trying. Ah. Mm. You know, when Cupcake broke, we didn't think this is how it was gonna go.
I did get. I decided to get the same headset I've had before, like the gaming headset, specific gaming headset.
Mm-hmm.
But the original one I got, because of the way that I was taking it off with the left side first, the part of the headband portion cracked near the actual like earphone part, and so it was like, I was like, yeah, eventually it's probably gonna get to the point of coming off and or not working correctly. So let me just get a new one. And I'm like, oh yeah, I could tell it's like better now because it's tighter to my head, because the left side isn't like loose.
Oh, that's good.
So I'm like, this is better. Yeah, they gave us like a headset to take home with us like 4 years ago, and it was shit. So I ever since then I've been buying my own stuff, where it's like, yeah. But of course, it was also like right at the start of the pandemic, so it was like, I think their headset issues, plus they were like onboarding like their entire company. Like they had work at home people, but they were onboarding practically their entire company to be online, like from home. So I'm like, I'm sure that there was some things that they were still working out when that was going on. So I'm like, I'd rather have the good stuff than,
Right.
you know. Oh, that's right. Wait, I haven't changed this one yet. Because for passwords for work, the one for the client that I'm working with got switched to, I think, being 12 letters instead of 10. So I had to change it because and then, but then they officially told us at work, like, oh, it's going to be 12 instead of 10. So I'm going to have to switch it up to that one's actually changed that. So I'm like, oh, wait, which one is it? Hold on.
O.J. Simpson died.
Yeah, I saw that. So 1.5 shakes before we start that. I'm flipping over to mobile.
Okay.
Okay. There we go. Yes, I saw that. I was sharing it, and people were like, "He's not already dead." I'm like, "I guess not." Like,
Yeah, I kind of
like
forgot about him once he went into prison. I didn't even know he was out of prison.
yeah, I was just like, O.J. Simpson was not high on my list of either celebrities or notorious people to keep an eye on. Like, it was just like, oh yeah, he's still out there, schlepping around. Oh shit, there are some nice puddles in my backyard. Anyways, but yeah, it was yeah, I was just like, oh, okay. But yeah, it was very exciting. I texted the article to my brothers. I was like, yeah, I still remember the joke from the time, which was like, what juice is bad for you, OJ? You
Mm-hmm.
know, that kind of thing. And so, but my older brother, back then, this is 30 years ago, no cell phones, no internet, like, or the internet was like for like you were in, not to be like, this is not being offensive. You were a nerd's nerd if you were using the internet, right? That kind of
It was
like, or
very
you
fledgling.
or yeah, it was very like specific, or you had to be in a specific like position at the company or whatever. So my brother, my older brother, was with the Boy Scouts, and so they went to Philmont Boy Scout camp by the Grand Canyon. So for like 7 days, they're out of touch. No TV, no regular phones, no cell phones, no internet, no nothing. And then they come back, and the people are like, "Oh my God, you didn't know?" It's like, dude, we just spent 7 days out in the fucking wilderness with
Right.
no TV coverage. Come on, I know it's raining, but you gotta go do business. Come on, like. But people were looking at them like, "Oh my God, you don't know what's going on." It's like, no, we don't. But yeah, that was like his main takeaway with like when that was like first going on, was like, yeah, because he was literally, was 94, so he was about to go into senior year of high school. So it's like, yeah, he was like, so off the grid. No, no, you do business. I know what it's doing. Come on. Someone is being a prima donna. But, puddle. How much has been raining today? All the way down there's puddle. Very squishy. Come on. Stink. No, no. You better not pee in the house again. Oh, all right. Come on, old man. You are a stinky butt. I love you. Anyways. Ugh. But yeah. Uh, yeah, not much going on with my life. I'm just here.
Um, Hubby and I started watching Stranger Things finally.
Ah, yes. Where are you at?
We're up to episode 6 of the first season. So
Nice.
we're almost done with the first season because there's only 2 episodes left.
I did see someone point out, and I understand why they did this, because this character would have been so awesome from the last season. He would have been so awesome to, because their complaint was that like someone had to die every season, which technically they do. Someone does.
Okay.
But I kind of agree with the fact that it's like the character they were kind of complaining about, everyone was like so upset over. And I'm like, I get it, because this character fits into the D&D group that's going on. But they kill him off. And it's like, that would have been so cool. Like, but no. Anyways, but yeah, that was that.
Okay.
And yeah.
I was just gonna say I understand the hype.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty. I'm all caught up. I'm just waiting for the last season. Um, it is. It's very interesting. Like, you know, and like this as you go. I'm like, I'm just thinking back over it now. That yes, it starts off with the D&D campaign, but as the seasons go on, you're like, this show is in its entirety a D&D session.
Mm-hmm.
And they're gearing up for the final battle against the BBEG. And, you know, and they have the whole thing like they're all friends from the same hometown. They go out to have adventures, and then they find out that this evil guy is like doing some shit, and they have to come back as their hometown is about to be, plunged into hell or whatever. Yeah. And they travel all over the place, and yeah. And silly me, like, I did not realize until like one or two seasons in that Hopper is Hellboy, like the original Hellboy, like the first live action Hellboy. I was like, oh, that's why you're familiar. But yeah. Anyways. And it also kind of weaves in the whole like satanic panic with no, this is only mild spoilers, with like the Russian Cold War shit going on
Right.
during the 80s and early 90s. So yeah, it also kind of builds into that and builds into like, yeah, and you know, sorry, I just got a message from work. Um, but there's also, I saw, because in the same article I saw, like there was criticism that like, oh, Stranger Thing, or it was like a reel or something where, oh, Stranger Things is just like a cash cow now. I'm like, well, duh. And they always just there to like do one offs and like drop hits. I'm like, well, yeah. But it's also different than a lot of other shows that are out there that do the same thing. Like, it's similar to other shows, but it's also telling the story a different way. And yeah, like it's a different little spin on like supernatural shit. So you're not just dealing with like, the fucking 20 seasons of Supernatural or Buffy the Vampire Slayer or Charmed or whatever. So you still have like the magic elements and the demon elements and this and that, but you're also telling it in a slightly different way, which is the point of storytelling. So, and they just so happen the fact that they can drop some 80s banging hits in there.
Right.
Like, it's got a great soundtrack because it's the 80s. Like, This is Metallica. Come on. So. But yeah, that was just. But again, people are allowed to have their own opinions. So.
Even if they're wrong, correct.
Yes. yes. Even if they're wrong. But yeah. Let me see here. Let me actually look this up. It's been so long since I've seen thing is season 1. Premise. Okay. And how'd you be like, what's season 1 about? Well, season 2. Okay. Premise. Okay. Season 2 brings a new big bad. Of course. Hold on a minute. Sorry. Which is another, like, D&D thing. But it also goes into, like, because Will comes back, right?
Obviously.
And so he's dealing with the fact that, you were already a nerd because you played D&D, but also because, like, you came back from the dead, like, funeral and all, and you came back from the dead, like, so he also has to deal with that shit. So that's pretty tough on a young kid. Okay, so season 4. Oh yeah, season 3 still has the same, like, big bad as 2, just in a different form.
Okay.
And then, hold on a minute, season 4. I'm just kind of going based off the premise. Yeah. Season 4 is a little hard to explain because there's, like, 3 different plot points going on. Like 3 or 4. So it's like, oh. Anyways. But it's still pretty good.
Okay. Yesterday, Cupcake and I watched the movie Lonely Castle in the Mirror.
Ooh. How was it?
I've never seen a movie look like it's gonna end all sad, and then they're like, "Ha ha! Happy ending!" That's all I could think at the end. I was just like, they were like, "And you'll have no memory of all these things, and you'll just suffer." And the last kid's like, "I'd like, if it's possible, I'd like to remember this. We'll see what we can do."
Very nice.
So
at least, it's not ending with a stab in the fucking back or anything.
It's not, I want to eat your pancreas.
No.
I'm dying of incurable disease. Oh no, we don't know how this is gonna end. Stabbed to death by an escaped serial killer.
I sure
Oh
can
no,
pick
we're
'em.
not gonna do the normal thing.
It's still like, to this day, of all the movies I've ever seen, it's the most fucked up ending. Because you're like, she's got an incurable hereditary disease that's slowly eating her alive. And she gets fucking murdered at random by an escaped serial killer. It's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I still remember like all three of us sitting there going, jaws on the floor, like the fuck just happened, like.
Because when she doesn't show up for that final meeting, you think, oh man, she died of like the disease. Finally, succumbed to the disease. And then, like later on, the dude's like, I never understood why she never showed up, and the sister's she was stabbed. I'm sorry, what? Oh yeah, escaped serial killer killed her. Well, okay then.
Like, oh, fun. Like, kind of one of those flavor of the no one expects the Spanish Inquisition kind of ending. Like,
I'm over here watching stuff like the Akashic Record of the bastard magical instructor being like, silly funny movies.
No silly funny movies for you.
Alright, technically it's a TV show, but you get what I meant.
Yeah.
yeah. So I did watch the first episode of the final season of Star Trek Discovery because it was free on Prime.
Oh my god, is that still going? I thought they fucking
Yeah.
canceled that.
No, it's in its
No, I
last
think this
season.
is- yeah, this is last season.
I figured when Strange New Worlds came out, that was basically it for Discovery.
Yeah, I think Strange New Worlds, at least my understanding of it was, they saw a chance to
Basically reboot the universe.
reboot the universe, number one, and number two, they don't really have. I mean, they might have some random lore about Captain Pike, but now
Right.
they have an excuse to make his backstory. Right.
I'm telling you right now that Stranger Worlds is going to lead into a remake of the original series. No pun intended. It's coming. It's fucking coming. I don't know who's going to play Kirk, but it's coming. Like, given that, TOS is like 69, 71, somewhere in there?
Yeah.
Like, I mean no disrespect to the original series because it's a great show. Like, we definitely could probably remake it without any serious issues.
Yeah.
They could tell new stories about the Starship Enterprise.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be like, it doesn't take anything away from the old series because remember it was a 5-year mission, so there's plenty of they don't have to say none of that happened. It's just these are different stories.
Oh yeah, because I was about to say I couldn't remember the length of it. Then you said 5-year journey. I'm like, yeah, they probably have like a shit ton of stories that were not.
I'm saying like they don't have to be like, it's not like comic books where they're like, okay, all of that didn't happen. They're like, no, it did happen. It's not the movie series where it's an alternate universe. It could still be like the prime universe they started in the 60s. Just say it was on a 5-year mission, so I mean you could still retell all of the stories. You could riff on the original episodes, or you could write new stories, and it wouldn't take away from the work of the original series. Like it's still. I mean, I'd have a harder time if they were like, we're going to remake The Next Generation. I'd be like, yeah, that's kind of in its own little, like, time capsule of the late 80s, early 90s. But, like, the original series is so old at this point that, like, you could retell the stories and there are a lot of people who would probably, would be dissuaded from watching it just because it's so old. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but, like, it is hokey. Like, Anybody who's like, no, it's not hokey. Yeah, it's fucking hokey. It's 1960s era technology, 70s, etc. It's hokey. Even the first Star Trek movie, the motion picture, is hokey. It oh my god, we had this conversation at work about how, like, with all the success of the Star Wars TV shows, that they really should just go back and remake the last 3 movies of the trilogy, because like they could do so much with like the Ahsoka crew, the Rebels crew, the Mandalorian, Boba Fett. Like,
Yeah.
I realize they can't really remake them because so many of, like, Carrie Fisher has passed away, and obviously Harrison Ford said he's not interested, and I think they could get Mark Hamill back, but it's hard. But I'm just saying, like, there's nothing wrong with remaking that trilogy more in line with a cohesive story about what
Yeah.
happened after the fall of the Empire.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, sorry, continue what you're saying.
Oh, no worries. Like, okay, hold on a minute, sorry. Like, even like the original show, even then, like, okay, hold on, let me look at something really quick. Star Trek Generation. Okay, so that started in 1987.
Right.
So even then, Star Trek Next Generation. Let me look up. Oop. Original Star Trek. Okay, so original Star Trek series was. Let me see here. No, okay, so it started. Okay, so apparently 1964 is when it was first like created. But then let's see here. Okay, so season 1 was in 1966, right?
Right. Yeah, because it's
Season
66 to
3,
69, and then
yeah,
was
and
it
then 69.
71? Was it 71 the motion picture came out, or was that earlier than even that?
I'm not sure. But like I'm just looking at the TV shows right now. So like,
Oh yeah, sure.
so the TV show ended in 69, right?
Right. Yep.
So let me bring out my calculator because I don't want to do mental math right now. 84 minus 69. So it's 15. By the time the next generation comes along, it's already 15. The original's already 15 years old.
Right.
Like already. And
Right.
so, and then by the time you get to, let's see here. All right, Star Trek. So Deep Space Nine. Okay, so Deep Space Nine was 93 to 99. So by the time Deep Space Nine comes out in 93, it's 24 years old. So you're already like 1 to 2 generations out from the like original,
Right.
thing. So it is a little bit hard to be like, so it's a little bit easier to say, okay, let's go back to the original, right? Because it was pitched in 1964,
Right.
right? So, oh, that's not what I wanted. Go the fuck away. Oh my god, sorry. So, so 60 years ago, 60 years ago, 60. We were all not even twinkles in our daddy's eye. My dad, well, my dad maybe, but that was like waiting like 20 more years now would come along still. Um, so it like you said, Cupcake, will be relatively easy for them to be like, all right, we can now go back and revisit. I mean, and you can even revisit the Tribbles.
Right.
Like,
Well, think about this. DS9 in the late 90s, like, had an episode where they go back in time to the Trouble with Tribbles.
I think I remember that episode, and they were
Yeah.
like talking about like the difference in like the uniform styles.
Yeah.
So um and like geeking out, like, oh my god, Captain Kirk. Oh, fangirl. But like, yeah, just so it's and then like Deep Space Nine, it's an actual like, if I remember correctly, oh yeah, it's a space station. So
Yeah.
like, it's a little bit harder to redo Deep Space Nine because it's stationed by a planet. It's not floating around the space.
Right.
Like you could possibly like tell more stories, but like you're gonna tell the same stories over and over again because you're gonna have the same races and peoples coming to Deep Space Nine that have always come to Deep Space Nine.
Well, the thing about
Like,
Deep Space Nine is you would have to tell it from a different perspective because the whole premise of Deep Space Nine is it's a space station that the Federation took over that within was it 6 episodes is on the front of a major galactic level war.
yeah. I'm gonna sit down and listening. I will be right back, switching back over to my computer.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, I kind of saw like it was a Cardassian base, I think, from like, if I remember correctly from Wikipedia. So like you can maybe tell this its origin story, maybe, but like how long would that really take? Like a season, maybe two. I don't know. Like, I could be wrong, but like that's one of those things where it's, and then you have to, especially with Star Trek, it's, you gotta be extremely careful unless you don't give a shit about the fans and they're gonna be like, oh, they better do this right. It's like, like, just being in the Dune fandom, people are like tearing apart like the changes of the new one, and I'm like, and I'm seeing her going like he's telling it in a different way.
Oh yeah, tell us about Dune 2 since you saw it.
Yes. So it was it was a little different. So instead of, because like between like parts 1 and 2, there's, in the book there's 2 years. So Alia is born, and also spoiler alert, there's going to be spoilers. So Alia is born, but there's a lot more like in depth about. So okay, so let me start with Alia. So they start off. Dune 2 starts off with they go to see each other, and Jessica undergoes the rites of becoming a Reverend Mother. And they also show like Alia becoming conscious and what's called preborn in the world. She is a preborn, which means she's conscious in the womb. So, like, because most of the time people's memories start around 5 or 6 years old ish, around kindergarten. But she is conscious and knows shit before she's born. So that, I mean, in the Bene Gesserit, they have like warnings about the preborn. So basically, what a Reverend Mother is they have the knowledge and insight of all their female ancestors, going back hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. And so Alia also has all of this knowledge. So in the book, like, it's clarified that like people are unnerved by her. Like, she's 2 years old, 2 or 3, right? And she's having adult conversations about adult topics with other adults as a 2-year-old because she knows about the adult topics. But you're not going to be able to like properly explain that necessarily in a movie setting without it becoming cumbersome. So what they do is he squished that time from 2 years to about like 6 months. And he shows Jessica talking to her outside of the womb. She goes, "My daughter asks, how was it done?" Or your sister says, "Why don't you accept who you really are?" And then later on, you hear the telepathic communication. So, and then also Alia is shown in one of Paul's visions after he takes the water of life and becomes the chosen one. So that kind of explains. So you also have to realize that there are going to be people who do not read the book and or who are going to read the book after seeing the movie. So he has to present this information to people who don't know anything about this book, who have not read the book, who haven't heard of it. They may have heard of it before, but they're like, oh, whatever. So that, for me, that's like a pretty good explanation of, yeah, this is Alia, and this is why she's different, right? Another thing is that another change was that they, in the book and the previous film adaptations, Jessica is trying to help prevent the jihad, but in this one, after she becomes a Reverend Mother, she's kind of pushing him towards jihad and being the chosen one. And which someone pointed out to me as well, like when Reverend Mothers go through that process, they lose a little bit of their humanity. So she does like almost complete 180. She becomes geez, sorry, my screen just kind of she becomes more Bene Gesserit than she was previously. And so that was another thing. But overall I think it's pretty good. Now one thing that I like that he did was, or the director, was that because with Chani, we don't really, in the book, we don't really see her voice her opinions of Paul becoming the chosen one. Like before, like, or as he's becoming it. Like we don't really see her. Oh my gosh, what the hell is my, I'm sorry. We don't really see her thoughts. But the director gives her more agency in the fact that we actually see her and see her reactions to Paul and see that she doesn't necessarily fall into the zealotry or the faithfulness of the others right away. Like she's sitting there going, the fuck? Like she's sitting there like, I don't like who you're becoming. These are my people. You're using my people. Kind of touching a little bit upon the whole like colonialism thing. Like you came and like she points out like, because Paul's like, you still don't trust me, do you? And she's like, no, you're an outsider. Like, no. Like, so there's that. And so she is very much like against Paul becoming the chosen one. Because she was like, as long as you remain yourself. And then she's basically forced to kind of take part in waking him up as part of the prophecy. Because Jessica uses the voice on her and forces her to wake Paul up. Because when he takes the water of life, he basically, it looks like he's dead. Like his vital signs are so low, anyone else who is not a Reverend Mother would assume, oh, you're dead. So part of the prophecy was the the Lisan al Gaib will be resurrected from the dead, from the desert springs tears. Well, her name, her personal private like name, Fremen name, is their word for desert spring. So she has to use her tears, put it in, wipe off a tear with a finger, put it in the water of the maker, hold it to his lips to wake him up, and she basically does that, and then she's like, "Okay, good, you're alive," and proceeds to smack him in the face and storm off because she's like, "Fuck this shit." And so some folks are like, "Oh my god, blah blah blah," like this is such a change. I'm like, look, Frank Herbert wasn't the nicest of people. And this is not an excuse, but he held some of his time's views on things like the Rainbow Crew, those who are gay, homosexual, otherwise inclined,
Different.
And also, like, it's the thing of, he wrote a story about someone who comes from off-world who reads the Orange Catholic Bible and basically takes over a group of people whose religion has Islamic overtones. So you can see the colonialism, white savior shit. I'm like, so you gotta, it's like, you folks need to fucking understand, like, this is what this book is. And giving one of the indigenous peoples her own voice, and her not being happy with the fact that her people are being hijacked and going to be taken on a fucking whirlwind of a jihad. Like, she's allowed to have her own opinion, be not happy. But one of the things I really like is the actor, can't remember his name right now, but he's in the new Elvis movie. He's the guy who played Elvis in the new Elvis movie.
I know who you're talking about, but I never remember his name because
Yeah,
I'm generally terrible with
yes,
names.
that's okay. So, but and like in an interview, Skarsgård, the elder Skarsgård, who plays Baron Harkonnen, pointed it out, and I went back and listened, or I saw it beforehand, so I knew to listen. Is that actor studied how Skarsgård talked and his voice patterns and speech patterns as he was playing Baron Harkonnen, and he sounds like Baron Harkonnen, just in a different. So it's like you could tell they're family, and it's like, okay, that's really really freaky. Like, but he remember, like he was saying, like it was kind of cool to like hear my voice come out of his mouth. And so I do kind of like how they portrayed the Harkonnen world. And sorry, I'm also doing some stuff at work here, so that's why I keep like pausing.
That's fine.
So, but all in all, I really do like how he decided to tell the story. And how he also inserted Margot Fenring, who there's another thing with, like, because technically, like, the Fenrings, so Margot Fenring is a Bene Gesserit, and she was married to who Paul finds out to be, so Baron Fenring is a childhood friend of the Emperor Shaddam IV, and he technically was a failed Kwisatz Haderach, or the chosen one. So he was a possibility, but he failed with that. So they're kind of a little bit more in depth in the book, but they at least put forth the idea of like the Bene Gesserit plans within plans, because they knew that like if Paul is still alive, well, that's interesting. And but they also and also the whole thing was like, Frank Herbert not necessarily being the greatest person. And I'm not saying that this doesn't make him a good person, but he's also writing about eugenics, because that's what the Bene Gesserit are doing. Over thousands of years since their start, they've been interbreeding with humanity to create their chosen one. Hi, eugenics.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they did do a good job of like, just overall, I feel like he did a good job of like creating a story. Now they did change it up a little bit and started the jihad with the royal houses not backing down, or not, which is kind of plausible. Like, because the great houses were like, we don't accept your sovereignty as the new emperor. And so, and what I liked was, like, it's like they look at Paul and go, we're waiting on your orders, my lord. And with such, you can see the sadness where he's like, because he told them, I will lead you to paradise, which is the prophecy. And so his reply is, lead them to paradise. Think.
She was gone.
Dun dun dun.
Well, I won't have to wait that much longer to see it. It'll be out on streaming next week.
That's what they say. I don't believe it. I think they'll wipe it from existence.
No.
Then you
Oh,
guys can make me sit down and watch it because it'll be available to stream.
yes. Ah. Mwahaha. Such.
And
Ah,
I still
hi.
remember, like, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just saying hi.
Oh, okay. So I still remember, like, watching, like, the new trailer, because there's a scene with, they do the, like, birthday gladiator scene, and of course they're not gonna get that many people. So they have maybe like in Star Wars, they have like a roller trip of people, and like they all do the same shit. Okay, so that's fine. And then people are like, we're in the voice chat going like, oh, I can't believe they did that. I can't believe they didn't do a better job at like doing this. I'm sitting there. I literally said, I was like, guys, remember, the focal point is the Na Baron Fade Rotha. Our focal point is not the crowd behind him. It's one person in the foreground. So most people are not dissecting this like we are. They're not going to notice that they're all like, oh, this group is all doing the same motion, and then this group is doing a different motion, but they're all doing the same, yada yada yada. Like, they're not gonna notice. They're gonna be like, oh yeah, the crowd's cheering for him. Of course, he won. Of course, they're gonna be cheering for him. Like, so I had to point that out to like the other people who were like, oh my god, I can't believe that. I was like, dude, like seriously, like, dudes, guys, gals, buddies, pals, like, let's chill the fuck out. Like, come on.
You can only spend so much money. You only have so much time.
Yeah. Like, a good portion of the CGI shit has to be spent on the fucking sandworms.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like, just Like, what? But yeah. So that's that. But I think overall it was pretty good. I gotta sit here and wait for my computer to stop being a dingle hopper. I had to restart my work environment because my web browsers were freezing up. I was like, yep, time to restart that. So I started when I got back from break, so I'm sitting here going like, what the fuck is going on, folks? But yeah. Like I said, I like how they did it.
Well, good. I am really looking forward to it.
Yes, it was very, very nice.
I have heard, I have not seen it yet, but I'll probably watch some of it tonight. But I have heard good things about the Fallout TV show.
I've heard good things about it as well. I'm considering watching it.
I have access to Prime, so, and you do
Same.
too, so. It apparently has a good mix of the lightheartedness and the gritty realism that Fallout is.
Yeah.
It plays well with both sides.
Well, I know in the trailer, like, the one line that's in it is like, or she's like, what happened? Oh, you know what? People want to save the world. They just have different ideas on how to save the world. And I'm like, ain't that the truth? Like,
I think it's already been approved for a second season. But I might be thinking of a different show. I'm not sure.
I'm hoping that they do a second season of The Rings of Power.
I have not watched The Rings of Power. But I'm not a Tolkien fan.
That's totally fine. I mean, even me, who I've read the Silmarillion, so I knew what was coming.
Mm-hmm.
Even I was like, oh, that's right. Oh my god, it's that dude. I should have seen this coming. He was helping the elves. Yeah. Yes, if my screens would respond to me, that would be great.
Hmm.
But I'm also now this is one of those shows that's like it's one of those rom-coms. It's Bridgerton, so I'm waiting for Bridgerton to come out too. But that's coming out. The first part of it's coming out in May, so there's that. Well, that's one of those things where it's like it's not necessarily something that like I rewatch too often because I'm like I can't take the like miscommunication very much.
Oh, it's that kind of wrong.
Well, also like in the first season, right? Oh, they're all happy newlyweds, and so like, but they kind of played off of like minor spoilers. They played off of the fact that Daphne, as a highborn lady, is not told by her mother, and she kind of rips her mom a new one too. Like, Mom, you didn't tell me shit about sex, right? So, oh jeez, I said to copy that. Oh, I'm sorry, my brain. So, but like so like the Duke, he tells his father, because his father was a right asshole, like literally, like total asshole. Tells his father on his deathbed, I will not have children to end the line. That was his vow. I am never going to have children. And so, like, he tells Daphne that, like, I can't have children. Like, I'm not gonna have kids. And there's a miscommunication there. She thinks he can't have kids when he won't have kids. So she gets pissed off because she's like, the fuck is this? Why didn't you tell me? This is so stupid. And then, like, the first time I watched the scene, I was like, oh yeah. I was like, and then, like, I was like, oh, like she's getting back at him, and I'm sitting there, like, thinking over it, going, wait a minute. She basically fucking raped him. Because what she goes to, so what she does is, she, like, because he never climaxes inside of her, he always pulls out. And then she starts putting two and two together, goes to her maid who came with her from her parents' home when after she got married. And she's like, you know, how do you have kids? How are kids made? And her maid was like, well, didn't your lady mother know? My mom didn't tell me jack shit. And so when she finds out, she basically forces him to, doesn't let him get her off, and forces him to climax inside of her. And I'm sitting there going like, ugh.
Isn't this the show where a woman rapes a drunk man?
I'm not sure.
Either way, there are a couple of reasons I don't watch this show.
Yeah, I was sitting there going like, oh my god, like this is. God, sorry, hold on a second. I need to do something.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like, holy crap. And this is taken from the book. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what the actual fuck? Ma'am. Like, holy shit. And then everything is just hunky dory after that. And I'm like, excuse me, Miss Ma'am, like, what are we doing? Like, this is not okay. And then the whole thing, like in the second season of Anthony going after the younger sister because she's the diamond of the season, and then still going through with wedding plans to the point of leaving her at the altar. Like, they get all the way to the fucking altar before it stops, but he gets feelings for her older sister. But he still is like, I need to do the right thing and marry the younger sister. And it's like, oh my god. Like, I'm like, there's only so much I can take watching this. Like, I'll watch it once, and then y'all are good. Y'all good. Like, I'll watch it just to watch it, just to be like, okay, like, what's going on? How's it going? Yo, what's up?
Doesn't Bridgerton have a spin-off show?
Yes, it's the Queen Charlotte's, or the Charlotte series.
Okay.
So there's that. And now that one I think was put together a little bit better, in my opinion. Because it still has the little thing of, like, they don't tell her why they chose her out of every other. Because she's like, why did they come all the way to Germany? Like, she's arguing with her brother, like, why did they come all the way to Germany? What the hell? Why didn't you tell them no? And her brother's like, they are the greatest fucking superpower on the planet. You do not tell the British monarchy no. You thank them, and you go along with what they say.
Pretty much.
Like, So he's like, "You think I had a choice, Charlotte?" So they didn't tell her that good old King Charles, or King George, sorry, not King Charles. King George is the little cuckoo with the Cocoa Puffs. Um, until like she basically uh like and they have thank you for
How you doing over there? I don't know. In my downtime, I've just been watching YouTube or Married to
Tell
Real
me about it.
Estate.
All I want to do is eat and sleep and be a big old fucking slug.
I've been eating a lot.
You haven't been, or you have?
I haven't been.
That's bad, I think, or
I can't get rid of this cough, and when it's really bad,
yeah,
it makes me throw up.
right. As you noticed, with it being springtime or ring-a-ding time,
Yeah.
I can't stop coughing, and
Mhm.
I have like that gargly cough. It's not productive, but like won't go away.
I saw a
Like,
doctor about it, and she's like, "It's a cough."
yeah, that's. I've asked about it a couple times. Like, am I all right? Oh yeah, you're fine. It's just allergies. I'm like, how do you get rid of it? You don't.
She gave me, where is it? It's behind the glue. Some, come here, Tessalon.
Sounds right.
It's a cough suppressant, but it doesn't do jack shit.
Well, mine is actually treated by treating, like, if I treat my allergies, it goes away. But like almost every allergy medication fucking makes me sleepy. Which in some point, like, some days are fine. Like tomorrow I don't start till noon. Like I could take it this afternoon and basically crash and then fine, sleep on and off until it's time to go to work. Because I'm not like, it doesn't make me like I can't wake up sleepy, but like when I do fall asleep, like I go to sleep for the night, like I want to sleep for like 12 hours. This happened the other morning. Like I slept like a rock. Like I took it because I had this cough, and I'm just gonna take. Oh, actually, it was I had that plus I had a runny nose, and I'm like, I'm gonna take some allergy medication, and I fell asleep, and I woke up, and I'm like, oh, I could go for some more sleep, and I pulled the blankets back over my head, slept for like another 4 hours. I slept like 12 hours, and then woke up, and I'm like, gee.
Poor sleepy man.
And part of it too is that when I'm not, like I'm coughing like this even when I'm not awake. So when I don't have this, I just like boom, I'm out.
I take the generic for Zyrtec.
Yeah, Zyrtec seems to work the best for me, despite everybody being like, it dries out your insides.
Now I still have the wet cough.
Oh no, not like that kind of insides. I mean like your mucus, like the mucous membranes, like in the lining
Oh,
of your body, kind of.
I don't think I'm having a problem.
Right. Like it doesn't just stop the running of your nose and the love of your lungs. It's also like your lymph nodes go dry, and I'm like, ugh. Hang on, I'll be right back. I get another energy drink. I'm fucking falling asleep. Sorry.
Okay, that's okay.
Ah! Stuck to my head. Ah! Ah!
cake.
That hurt.
Welcome back.
All right.
Ew.
Cupcake's going to get an energy drink.
Venice.
Oh.
Okay, what were you saying?
Oh, so there's can't remember her name for some reason, but one of the main characters, I'm sorry, Lady Danbury is also like a young Lady Danbury, is in it, and so she talks to the queen, like you had a wedding night, right? right? Because basically the king, after the wedding night, was like, okay, bye. Like, they got to the house, their house or whatever, castle or whatever. I was like, okay, bye. And, like, Charlotte's like, well, no, we didn't. And it's like, so she's like, Danbury's like all concerned because she's like, oh my god, like, the great experiment is gonna fail because you didn't have a wedding night. And so it's one of those things.
Okay, while she's doing that, I'm gonna take my blood pressure because I forgot to. Supposed to keep a log of it. Oops. Popped out. Oh.
Okay.
Welcome back, both of you.
Rada rada.
Rather. But yeah, so like Queen Charlotte's basically thrown in this position of like her husband does not pay attention to her because he's doing his experiments and being Farmer George, and like, so, and then of course it kind of goes into the quote unquote treatments for mental health or mental illness back then, which wasn't very pretty. But then it kind of explains, like, it shows kind of how they become closer, and like it goes between like past and present, which is also kind of nice. And it's so very cute because like for him, his thing is like sometimes the sky and the stars are too much. Like there's too much noise, right? And so in order to stop the noise, they lay under the bed. The bed is under the bed, protects me from the sky, and quiets the noise. So, but I liked it.
Okay. Okay.
So,
I don't like most romantically inclined things. Not to say I don't hate all. It's just, especially if it's misunderstanding based, I just want to throttle all the characters.
yeah, that was one of those things where, like I said, with this, like, I was like, if they had just like talked about shit,
Yeah.
like,
Human beings.
yeah,
I don't know, maybe it's just the way my parents raised me to be a forward person. Even in my shy phase, I would talk. At least when it came to my own well-being.
What did I miss? I'm sorry.
We were talking about romance shows.
Oh, okay.
Not shows that happen to have romance, shows that are forwardly romance. That's the difference. Anybody gonna go see Joker 2? I didn't see
No.
I
I
didn't
haven't
see the
even seen
first
Joker
one.
1.
Yeah, I haven't either. Apparently, it's a jukebox musical, which I hate.
So basically, just a random selection of music.
Yeah, that happens to go with whatever is going on.
I think it's more interesting that they pivoted from gritty live action origins of the Joker to hey comedy musical.
I think it's still supposed
Yeah.
to be gritty.
I don't believe that somehow.
Yeah, I think it's a poor use of Lady Gaga to use a jukebox musical.
Here's my whole thing. I have literally less than zero problems with Lady Gaga playing Harley Quinn. That's not. I just don't. Okay. They can do Batman. Batman universe, whatever you want to call it, Batman sphere of influence musicals. They did it with Batman the Brave and the Bold, and it worked really well. But like it it goes with the whole 1950s, 1960s. What do you call it? Like Brave and the Bold is set in the golden age of comics style of like Batman comics, and so it's like silly, stupid, Cesar Romero Joker, not
Yeah,
gritty Nolan verse. Like, you want to know how I got these scars?
a little bit
See, the thing
goofy.
Yeah, like goofy but kills people. Like not quite to Jack Nicholson '89 Batman, but like definitely not like and not like psychopath killer Joker. Like not '90s Joker. Like Mark Hamill playing the Joker in the animated series, where he's goofy but also like you clearly know that all of the gags are gonna kill somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Like he doesn't, the Joker doesn't have a gag that's non-lethal. All of his non-lethal gags have a lethal function. Like the bang, like ha ha, you thought I was gonna, and then like the flag shoots out and pins the guy to the wall, and you're like, uh, what? Or the fact that like Joker gas originally killed people, not made them smile. That's still my favorite like discussion from the showrunners. Is like, oh yeah, the Joker gas that killed people. We couldn't do that on children's, television, so it just made them smile. Like, oh my god. Anyway, my point being is, I'll wait for it to be on streaming. I'm not that.
yeah,
You guys know me. Like, I'm not gonna pay $20 to go to the movies. I'm not. I'm way too cheap and lazy to go to the movies.
yeah, that's fine. Like, but also like this one, from my understanding, though, Joaquin Phoenix one, Joker, is trying to be more quote unquote realistic in terms of backstory for Joker. Not Mr. I get thrown into a vat of chemicals, which is also plausible
Right.
because it's Gotham.
Right. Hey, it's
But
chemical company.
yeah. So, but like how they're trying to they're looking at folks today and going, what is plausible for them, and go for a backstory for the Joker and going with that. And that backstory does not fit with jukebox. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily fit with jukebox music that you would find in the cafes from the 1950s and 60s.
Oh, is that what it means? I thought they meant jukebox. Like it's a random assortment of different genres.
Oh, I mean it could be. But when I hear jukebox, I think
What? Well, let's ask Kiki. She's the one that brought it up. What does that mean?
I just saw it in an article. Jukebox musical just means it's not original songs.
Oh, that definitely means it's like a mishmash of different music that they thought would be fun to.
Well,
have.
yeah, well, also it plays off of the jukebox thing. With the jukebox, you put in a quarter or whatever, and you flip through the songs, and you pick out a song. So they're doing that, and there's a mishmash of songs because it's a jukebox.
I mean, Mamma Mia is a fucking jukebox musical.
True.
How many of those is there?
3?
I want to say 3.
I think there's 3. The one thing I will say about Mamma Mia that I really liked is all 3 of the dudes that could have possibly been her father were all like ready to step up if they were. Which I
Yeah.
always thought was really cute. Like none of them were like, no, this isn't my problem.
Mm-hmm.
That's nothing to do with what we were just talking about. I just always thought that was really funny. Like I don't know, I watched that with somebody. I don't remember who. They're like, we're gonna watch Mamma Mia. I'm like, we are? Okay. And that's what I took away from it, was like the dudes were all like, they were all ready to be her father if it came up that they were the father. And even when it came out who was the father, the other dudes were all like, I'm still there, bro. Like, we're all in this together. It's like, damn.
Other than it being a jukebox musical, my only other problem with Mamma Mia is that Meryl Streep refused to come back for the other movies because she doesn't do sequels.
Okay.
Which means they had to work around that.
Right.
So Mom is just not in the other ones.
Right.
But yeah, it's like I never really had interest in seeing the first Joker because it was like, yeah. Like, okay, it's like I'll wait until it gets to streaming. And if I watch it, I watch it. If I don't watch it, I'm not gonna be heartbroken if I don't watch it.
You guys know how it is. Everybody's like, did you see that show that's on Hulu / Netflix / Disney Plus? And I'm like, I don't have any of those. Like, what? I'm like, I'm working here.
I'm looking forward to having time to watch Parasite Grey. I'm sorry, Parasite the Grey. That's gonna be fun.
Right.
Like, it's also suffers from the thing that I know we talked about this. I talked about this with some friends in terms of like Overwatch fan fiction, because there are several fan fiction stories that are, I guess, famous, you could say. And then people are like, "Oh my gosh, you didn't read this?" It's like, dude, you have to read it. Dude, I didn't read it because it's not my style, or I tried reading it and it didn't catch my interest. Don't look at me like I'm committing a horrible crime for not reading something that you really, really like. And these things are really well written and they're great. And, like, okay, so for example, one of them is After Drop. It is currently 30 chapters long, and it's a work in progress.
Holy God.
Okay, so this author's been working on it since December of 2016. Last update was in November of 2022. So, number one, I know there are people who don't like reading works in progress, which is valid. You want to have the full story, it's fine. But it's like, number one, and then there's another one, it's Lucid Dream, which is another work in progress and is 45 chapters long. 45!
By the stars, fucking finish!
So, last update, this one of these updated August of 2023, which was good. But again, like, these are some long ass fics to begin with. And, like, there's okay, where's Hang the Fool? Do I have Hang the Fool up? No. I don't. But like there's, okay, Hang the Fool. Okay, let's bring up AO3 because I actually want to see how long Hang the Fool is. Hang the Fool, Overwatch. Oh my god, I'm sorry, my brain is like... My bookmarks. Go to my bookmarks, would ya? Thank you. Can I go by... Crap, I can't search by...
Notice any interesting trends on YouTube, like video game wise?
Not particularly. Let me go look at my feed is pretty boring. I found a guy, I think his name is Wolf VR, that played through a whole bunch of like Oculus and Steam VR games, and that was kind of fun because I didn't realize that there was a second or third. I expect you to die, and it's an escape room, but you're a secret agent. So like you're 3D VR game, but like you're a secret agent, like trying to escape with your life basically from different scenarios. I think the first level of the first game is you're stealing the big bad's like Rolls Royce on the back of his transport plane while it's flying. And there's all these like defensive measures. Like you start, fiddling with it, and like, like the visor flips down and there's like a scanner and it's like scanning, scanning, scanning. You are not General Zod, like laser, charging. You have like 10 seconds to find something to block the laser with before it kills you. It's very, very funny, cute 1960s, making fun of 1960s spy movies. But there were two more, and he did the third one, and then I realized that, like I didn't even know there was a second one. So I was watching those. There's no like great deep thing, just kind of like was fun to watch. I don't know.
A lot of people I follow were playing That's Not My Neighbor.
Oh yeah, it's like Papers, Please.
Yeah, it's a little like Papers, Please.
Yeah. Yeah, like the people who came up with Papers, Please kind of like, set up a whole genre of games of like you're a guard.
Yeah, you gotta check out documents and stuff. Did they?
Yeah. The one you're talking about, if it's one I think of, it's funny because there's like a couple people that come up and like, your brain is outside your head. I don't think you're the person you claim to be.
They also made Return to Oberdin, didn't they?
I think so.
That's a great game. I could never play it. It's too visually hard to stare at. Very stylized, but...
Right. I mean, beyond that, like a lot of the people that I follow have been playing Ace Attorney games for some reason. I don't know why.
A new package of it came out.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah. Steam has been trying to sell me on it, and I'm like, I prefer to watch people play it. I don't want to play it.
It's one of those games like, yeah, it's one of those games like, we bought one off Wii, or I bought one on Wii. I bought one of the episodes or one of the games on WiiWare when it was a WiiWare, like they updated it for WiiWare, and I played it with a buddy, and it was one of those games like I wouldn't want to play it by myself,
Yeah.
but like definitely could see like sitting like on the couch with one or two, three other people, whatever, and you're just like passing the remote around like as the court case and investigation stuff are going on, and like like I totally got the Game Grumps for playing one of them, and like the commentary is better than the actual game, honestly. Like Aaron and I can't think of the other guy.
Dan,
thank you. I'm like, Danny something, come on.
Danny Sixbang.
Yeah, I know.
Avedon, yes.
I know him by his real name more than I know him by his nickname. and all of his great stories about his mom and dad. Every time he tells stories about his dad, I just freaking laugh.
Yes,
Um,
his dad is adorable.
his dad is adorable. And then also like Luca Jin is playing Spirit of Justice, which is one of the newer ones.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can't remember. Somebody else was playing it too. Oh, uh, uh, ProZD, and I can't think of the guy that's playing with him now. He's got his gameplay channel. Or was it Pro XD? Fuck ProZD. God, that's right. Okay. I'm sure other people are playing it too, but those are the people I follow that I like. They all started playing it around the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I don't know. I mostly follow like mostly following like stuff like there's I can't think of the guy's name. The dude does like historical food, like the newest Hindenburg. What was the newest one? But he makes like I kind of got on the track of like a lot of like history channels, and the
Okay.
history food stuff is really interesting. Like making dishes from like the 18 and 1900s. I mean, obviously you get the whole. Now I really can't think of the guy that does the YouTube shorts where he makes really bad recipes from old cookbooks.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I follow him.
Hollis. I can't think of his first two names.
He wears pearls.
Yes, you know who I'm talking about. Kind of thin, lanky. Um, lives in Utah, I want to say, but he's originally from like Bermuda. B. Dylan Hollis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he grew up
So
in
like he got
Bermuda.
me started on that, and then there's I follow the eating history guy.
A couple people have gotten back into Slay the Spire,
Yeah.
cause especially me too, cause I haven't fucking finished it. But
Right.
because they announced the sequel, there's gonna be a Slay the Spire 2. Looks badass.
Yeah, they just announced it or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. I will unlock that fourth character someday. Stupid randomized everything.
Okay, but like I was saying, I did find
Yes.
that one book, that one fan fiction. So it's 22 chapters long. It's finished. So 22 chapters long, right? And then there's another work that's really popular, Watcher in the Woods. Now there's a few like connected stories to that, but this one is 36 chapters long, is finished, right? Um, and where is this? The Podfic, but I want to go with this one. There's another one that's really popular, Ghost Stories in Route 66, 26 chapters long. So like 1900 kudos, 2400 kudos. Then to Hang the Fool, it jumps to over 15,000 kudos. Lucid Dream has 1900 kudos. So like there are some things where it's like, you know, but like the hits are like, holy crap. But yeah.
Well,
So,
alright.
but like it's one of those things where it's like, dude, like some of these may not be people's cup of tea. Right. And like Ghost Stories on Route 66. Um there is the last time I reread that, I had to stop before the final climax, ultimate climax of the story, because I knew what was coming. Because as the tag says, brief but intense suicidal ideation. Where one of the characters almost goes through with it, but his brother finds him and stops it from happening. But the reason why he does that, it's so heartbreaking. Like, and it's like, holy shit. But it's so well written that you're like, I have to come back and read this. And that story has two of my favorite, like, Um, nicknames for two of the characters. I have to, um, Hot Vampire Dad, and I think like Hot Smoke Dad, something like that, where it's a play off of the um Reaper and then Soldier 76. Um, so like I think his Soldier 76 is in his immortal skin, which is the one that in the red leather outfit, and he's very pale, and yeah. Um, but yeah, it's also one of my favorite scenes at the very end when like they're finally back from the other world, and like they video call home, and it pops, like the video pops up, and it's all black, and then all of a sudden like all these eyes pop up. It's like, hi Dad, what the fuck were you guys doing? We're so worried about you. But it's Gabe, but he's so just incorporeal. He's just like, hi, the screen is black. Hi Dad. We're live. I'm sorry, it makes me laugh so much. But yeah, it's one of those things where like several of like, and it's like you have to at least admire the dedication of, you are writing a novel length fan fiction all on your own. You're not being paid for this. And you've got this much, and the story is this good. So yeah. Anyways.
Anywho.
Yep. Yes. My brain was like that.
Well, that was a noise.
I'm sorry. You can go.
No. Never. You will always be here.
Boop. Just like every trace of me just deleted. Just you were just like, what the fuck just happened? Everyone who's ever known me is like, who the fuck are you talking about? You're just like, oh, what the fuck?
Oh. Oh. Okay, well, it's well past 1.
Your face is well past 1.
Well, yes, I'm 38.
38, whatever. That would mean that I'm like 37. Do you ever feel weird by the fact that we're all fucking reaching middle age? It sure as hell doesn't feel like it.
Oh yeah, it doesn't.
What do you mean it doesn't feel like it?
Well, okay. For all of us who are not falling apart at the joints, the 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 thread, what do we even say about you at this point? I mean, I don't have an answer.
I mean, I'm happy, or at least nobody has told me there's something wrong with my heart, because I had to wear a fucking heart monitor for a day. But,
You know, all the other things are wrong, but your heart's still good.
except for the blood pressure part.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's like hereditary.
Yes, it's the family curse.
My family curse is just to die.
That's everybody's curse.
I just meant like at an early age.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I will give you that.
I mean, like, early is subjective. I mean, like, every man in my dad's side of the family has died at the age of 72.
I think my grandpa was 72 when he died.
Well, there you go.
My grandma was like 50-something.
Fair enough.
Actually, she may have been 40-something.
I mean, to be fair, I didn't think I was going to make it this far, so I'm just still kind of like, everybody's like, what's your plans for retirement? I'm like, I didn't think I was going to live this long. Let me look into it.
Sit in your chair and never move again.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm still trying to pay off all my freaking debt. They're like, why haven't you saved more for retirement? I'm like, dude, I'm trying to pay off my debt.
Oh, I hope they forgive my student loans. My stupid student loans.
Yes, the college that went nowhere.
Stupid depression and apparent ADHD that I have that I didn't know about.
Ugh. I wish they would forgive my actually, I'll tell you what. I don't even want them to forgive my student loans. I just want them to just kill the interest and let me pay it off. That's all I want. Like, I'll pay you back. It's not I can't pay you back. I'll pay you back. Just forget about the interest on my student loans.
Pardon.
Well, based on my grandparents, most of them lived to their 70s or 80s, and then my grandma died in her early 90s. So.
Well, good. You'll live forever, and I'll be dead. Sounds like a plan.
As long as you come to haunt me every once in a while, I'll be good.
Hell no, I'm going to purgatory. I gotta burn a hole to heaven.
What do atheists do?
Wait a minute.
I don't know. I'll let you know when I die. But my plan is to go to purgatory since I'm a confirmed Catholic.
Yeah, I wasn't even baptized.
Yeah, see, like, technically, like, I have gone to confession and shit, so, like, if I die, technically I get to go to purgatory, even though I'm not, like, a good practicing Catholic, because I actually made it all the way through everything.
Do I just exist without God?
My hope was always that, like, you get to do something fun. Like, you know, it's like, you get, like, the video game total score. It's like, you want to try for a higher score? What's going to be really fun is when everybody dies and finds me with the card table playing solitaire. Like, it's about time you guys showed up. It's like, wait, what? You were still alive when I died. Yeah, I'm all places at all times. I'm a 10-dimensional being. Wait, what? No one believed me.
As long as I die first. Because I don't want to live without hubby.
I got bad news for you. You're last to go.
I'm more unhealthy than he is.
Soul survivor.
God damn it.
Sorry, I rolled the dice. That was the epic feat you got.
His mother did die young. His biological father is still alive.
Right.
I think. Nobody told us he was dead.
Oh my god, that's like when my dad died and we found out that his first marriage, the woman never actually like signed the divorce papers. She like ran off with his best friend, right? And like the judge here filed like in absentia because she just never came back to, and they couldn't find her because it's like the 1960s, 70s, and like so the judge was just like, look, you're divorced. It's like we're not like I'm not gonna make you go try to find her to get her to sign these like, but like the federal government was like, well, she never signed them, so effectively federally you never divorced. But like the state was like, yeah, no, you're divorced. Like what? She didn't come back for the hearing. Like so she just forfeits any rights to anything.
Okay.
And so there was this whole thing my dad died about like she might have rights to stuff and blah blah blah. So they, we basically, I don't even want to call not a private investigator, but we pulled some strings to figure out what happened to her. She died of cancer like 3 years after she ran off my dad's best friend. Like, she's been dead for decades, and no one knew it. So like it ended up being a moot point. But I just remember being at like the weirdest like 2 weeks of my life, because there was this whole thing of like she might have claim to like inheritance or whatever, and then like we found out that she was just dead. And so just like, oh, never mind, it's all fine, she's dead. She died of cancer like in the 80s.
Well, good.
Yeah. So effectively, like, all the stuff about like my parents' like marriage never being valid and shit was inconsequential because she died before my parents got married. So like they effectively went like, your mother was never married to your father, and then went, no, actually she was, because the woman that was married to your father was dead before your father married your mother. I'm like, this just makes my head hurt. Mind you, this all came out after he died. So my parents were married like 4 decades with no idea that they may not be legally married, because the state of Minnesota looked at it like, you're married. Like, my dad was divorced, he married my mom, like. But then the federal government was like, well, it doesn't actually work that way. It's like, what?
We are in contact vaguely through Facebook with his half sister, so she probably would have said something.
Right. So it's weird, and you're like, hey, what happened to that person? Oh, they've been dead for a decade. What? What happened? Motorcycle accident. Really? Yeah. When? Like third Tuesday in March 2019? What? I just picked dates at random. Anyway.
Although, thinking about it, my 2 half sisters who are dead to me could actually be dead, and I just not know.
Yeah, because no one's there to tell you that they're dead.
Because I don't talk to those people.
Right.
I don't know if they talk to my brother. He never says anything.
Right.
I don't think he talks to them anymore either.
A fair statement.
Mm. Alright.
Alright.
Alright. Ow.
Alrighty, so we're all set.
Yes, alright. Guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Thanks for botting with me.
Rada.
Anytime.
Have a good day. Bye.
Dun, dun, dun.
And then there were 2.
It turns out Kiki was never recording.
I can see it right there.
Yeah, but it'll be garbled or something, and we'll have to do it again next week.
I triple checked. There was an update, so I went through all the settings to make sure it didn't change.
Alright. I'll check you later.
Bye.
Bye!